We're going to do the cube, the Rubik's cube, okay, together. I'm going to show you some moves. I'm also going to show you in printed form so that you can print it and keep it, you know, for the difficult moves. And I'm going to go very, very slow. So this way you're going to learn, okay? Because remember, 5% of the world's population, you know, can do it, but not fully. So, you know, it is a process where, you know, you just got to follow some basic rules, okay? There are many ways of doing that, okay? There are many ways to do it, but, you know, you are just going to fine-tune your method and then get faster. Okay, so like I said, you know, I have written in a blog about how to do it. You know, so, you know, you're watching the YouTube channel now, and, you know, I'm going to give you a lot of information and a lot of details, okay, where, you know, you will be able to do if you follow my method. Okay, so let's do it. So now the cube is all in full. Okay, you see that? Okay, so we're gonna scramble it. We're just gonna go back and do what we need to do, you know, in order to get started. Okay, so it seems to be all over the place. Okay, so, you know, now to begin, you need to know the anatomy of the cube, right? So, you know, you have a centerpiece, you have edges, and you have corners. Okay, so if you look at the cube, you know, there are 6 sides to the cube. Okay, so which means 6 colors. Okay, so we are gonna begin. Okay, now if you see the face color, like which is in the center, is the face color, right? So this does not move anywhere. This does not move either. This doesn't move. So, you know, the centerpiece does not move. So, you know, the only way to get it, now these are also fixed in some way, but you need to get them where I need to go. So you can move these, okay, around, but not the centerpiece. So the face of the centerpiece is the color of the face, okay, so which you have to remember. And every time you're working the cube, you know, you got to have the yellow on the top, white at the bottom. Okay, so remember, yellow at the top, white at the bottom. You got to maintain that throughout your you know, process. Okay, so like I said, you know, I am going to go very, very slow. Okay, so the thing is, like, you know, you are going to see in drawing, okay, in paper form where you can print it, and you can go through that many times if you need to. Okay, the way to learn this is just like anything else. You know, you repeat the processes many times. Okay, and then, you know, repetition is what's gonna get you to where you need to be. Okay, so don't get intimidated, because, you know, you think that, oh yes, I can just turn this way, can turn it that way, and then you can get it done. No, you know, once it's scrambled like that, different colors like that, you know, there is no way that you can do it without following, okay, the format where it needs to, you know. There are algorithms, okay, different algorithms. Okay, so in my method, you know, I have 9 steps. Okay, so we're gonna go and do the first step without delay. So again, remember, the yellow on the top, the white at the bottom. Okay, yellow on the top, and you're gonna hold the cube like that. It doesn't matter which direction, but as long as yellow is on the top, you're good. Okay, so now if you look at, okay, so what you're gonna do in my first step is that we're gonna make a daisy. So which means a yellow center, 2 whites at the edge, and a triangle, right? So that's called the daisy. I mean, you know, it's a standard name, you know, everybody uses the name as daisy. Okay, so now in order to do that, okay, so we got to get this yellow center white. Okay, so we're going to bring it to one side. So we have one side done. So now we're going to look for another center white, which is this one. Okay, we're going to go back and put that in its place too. So I'm turning it in such a way where I can rotate it. Okay, so there's already one here. If I turn this, you know, this will go there, so now that we will lose that. So I'm going to move it away from there and then turn it around. So now we have two. Okay, so the next one, we're going to look for another center. Okay, but this center is at the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to move it to the side here, and we're going to make it that way so that it comes to the center, right? So now we can turn this way and move it that way, and there we go. You got the third side done. Okay, so now we're going to look for the fourth one, which is down here. Remember, you're holding it from the top, and this is the white side, but you know, you're going to get that to the center, right? So what you're gonna, again, we're gonna bring it there, we're gonna bring it to this side where I just got to the center. Okay, so now all what you need to do is, you know, turn. So now we have the daisy. Forget about this one. Okay, we have the daisy. Okay, white, 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 white on four centers, and then the yellow in the center. So we are still holding it this way to the, okay, we are holding it that way. So now you have done the daisy, okay, which is a very simple one actually, but then, you know, you might struggle with it. Okay, you might struggle with it. Just repeat what I did, you know, just bring it to the center, because, you know, since you don't care about anything else, it does not matter even if you mess the other things up. So, you know, you're just going to bring just the white to the center and just roll it up. Okay, so that is the first step. Okay, so we're going to move on, okay, to the second step now. Okay, so now we have the daisy. Okay, if you see. Okay, so we're going to move on to the second step. The second step involves the middle piece. Okay, so the middle piece, which is, okay, you have the white and you have the green. So what you're going to do is, you know, for the second step, you're going to move the green to the green. Okay, once you move the green to the green, okay, what you're going to do is now you're going to turn this once, okay, and twice. So what you're trying to achieve now is to make a cross here. So we have got the first part of the cross, okay, the white cross, okay, which is the white, which this is what we are aiming for. Okay, so we have the first one. Okay, so now we go to the second one on the top, right, which is a red on the side. So we're going to bring the red side to the red, right, and do the same thing again. We're going to do once and we're going to do twice. So if you go back, so now we have the second side of the triangle, of the cross, white cross. Okay, so now we're going to go to the top again, and we're seeing this one has orange on it. So we're going to move the orange side, which is the center, like we said. You know, this is the side of the orange. Okay, so we're going to move that there, and guess what we're doing, right? We are doing back, going once, and we're doing it twice. So now if we see, we have the third side done, right? So we just need one more here. We look here and it's right there. Okay, so what we're going to do is, you know, now it's already set to in the blue, right? We didn't have to do anything. It was already there. There are certain things that you're going to do which already, you know, you didn't have to do anything with the previous movements, you know, it'll come into place. So in this case, the blue, so we're going to do the same thing. 1, 2. Okay, now if you come back, you have the white triangle, white cross. Okay, this is the second step. Okay, so if you look what we have done, if you look from the side, okay, we have the white cross with the red. Okay, it's not always the case, but okay, just go with me. Okay, here it's the blue, and here's the orange, and you have the green. But if you look up this way, okay, so now we're going to turn it. Okay, remember, we are working from the yellow side. Okay, so we have done the white cross at the bottom. Okay, that is the second step. Again, you know, I'm just going to give you, you know, step by step method on the description. I'm also going to give you pictures of these moves in the description also, so just follow along and just learn. And then, if you didn't get this far, go back to the first instance and scramble the cube, and then just go back to the first method where you're making the daisy, and then come back here. Okay, so now, so we have done the second part. Now the third part is this. Okay, so the third part, what we are going to do is we are going to move these ones to these edges. Okay, all the white pieces. So we're going to make the white all white, the white side all white. That's our next move. Okay, now that you have the white cross at the bottom, okay, we are going to make the first side all white. Okay, so our white side, we're going to make it all white. Okay, so in other words, we have to change this one, and this one. Okay, and also this one, because this is in the wrong place. If you look, this should be green, but it needs to be turned. So we're going to do that right now. Okay, so in order for you to do that, okay, we still have the white on the top. I'm sorry, yellow on the top, white at the bottom. Okay, and we're going to look for pieces that are on the top layer. Okay, so now it so happens that I have a white on the left hand side. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to bring, now this is green, I'm going to bring it to the green side, the center green. Okay, I'm going to bring it to that side. Okay, so now I'm going to hold the white, I'm going to bring it away, okay, and bring this up this way and bring it back here. So now look what happened. You got the green and the orange. It's in the good place. Okay, so now we're going to go back and look at another one, okay, which is again yellow on the top, white at the bottom. We're going to do this one. Okay, the way we're going to do this one, okay, is, okay, we're going to bring, this is the blue, we're going to bring it to the blue side. Okay, this is the blue and this is the white. We're going to bring it, move this here. The way we are going to do that is, okay, follow me. You're going to bring it away from where you're going to put, which is this side, and we're going to bring the side to the top. Okay, that's where it needs to go, and we're going to reverse it, and we're going to bring it back down. Okay, so now we got that color in its place. But if you go back, yellow is on the top, white cross is still intact. Okay, so at any given time, this is what you need to achieve. You need to achieve the ones that you have already done, and yellow at the top, okay, white at the bottom. Okay, so this is where, okay, so now if you look, we have one more white. Okay, so now the way we're going to do, we're going to bring it down here, right? So what we're going to do is, see the green side, we're going to bring it to the green side, we're going to bring that away. Okay, we're going to bring this up, okay, and then we're going to bring the white back. So now the white is all aligned, we're going to bring it down here. So if you look, okay, look what happened. You have the white is all good, and the first layer is also forming, if you notice. Okay, so we have one more to fix, right? And that one is on the top. Okay, we have a white piece here. Okay, we're going to bring it away. Okay, because this is where we need to put, right? So we're going to come back here, bring it back, and we're going to bring that back. So just like I mentioned, okay, we have our white side, and as we bring all the whites to the bottom, remember our first layer also got done. You see, our first layer got done. Now up until this point, okay, if you followed my method, if you followed what I was telling you, You can always bring all of the whites and everything that needs to go in its place. You can bring it to its place. And then you will also have this one done. Okay? So this last piece, right? So what we're gonna do, it's with the blue. Okay, we're gonna move it away, bring it this way, bring it there, and bring this down. So now if you look, you have the white side, you have all the bottom is done. So remember, first we did the daisy, then we did the white cross. So at all times you have to maintain this white cross, okay, white cross. Okay, and then we brought the 4 edges, and once we made that, okay, the next step got filled too. If you see the bottom part, see the red matches the red, green with the green, orange with the orange, and okay, and so on. Okay, so now we're just going to do the second layer. Okay, the second layer, in order to do the second layer, you are going to be looking at the top yellow side, the ones without yellow. Okay, so this one doesn't have yellow on either side. Actually, the middle pieces. Okay, this one doesn't have it either, but this has a yellow, so we are not going to work with that. But this doesn't have a yellow, so we're going to work with that. So remember, your white is at the bottom, your yellow is on the top. So now we're going to look at this one here. This is blue, so we're going to bring it to the blue side. Okay? But if you look at the top, it's red. So this piece needs to go here with the red and the blue. So what we're going to do is, we're going to bring that away from where we need to put it. We're going to bring the right side up, and then we're going to bring it back, and we're going to bring the white to the bottom. But we messed up our white. And if you look, the white is here. So what you're going to do, so we're going to bring that away from where we need to put it. We're going to bring the white side up, okay, and then bring it back, and voila. So we are back to normal, but we also fixed that one. Okay, so now we're going to go and look at the next one without the yellow, so which is this one. Okay, so now this one, we're going to bring it to the red side, if you remember. Okay, and this needs to go here. So in order for us to bring it here, okay, so the red needs to be here, the green needs to be there. So we are going to bring that away from the green. We're going to bring the white side up, okay, this side up, where we need to put here, right? So we're going to bring that back and return the white. Again, we messed up our white. So what we're going to do is, the white is right there. So we're going to go away from where we need to put, okay, and then bring this back. I'm sorry, that was a mistake. Okay, so what we're going to do is that we're going to bring it away from where we need to go, and bring that up, and then bring it, and then bring that back. So we did not mess any of these, the first line or this one, but we still have a couple of pieces without yellow, right? So we are going to work with this one. Now this one, if you see, this needs to go, okay, towards the orange. Remember, we are aligning the orange. So this piece has green on it, so the green is this side, so we're going to bring it here. So in order to bring it there, we got to take it away from where we need to be, and then bring this up, okay, the white side up, and then put it back there, and bring it back, and we messed up the white again, right? So what we're going to do is, we're just going to go away from where we need to go, bring this up, and then bring it back up, and bring this down. So if you see, we just have one piece for the second layer that needs to be finished, okay? So that happens to be this piece, and that doesn't have a yellow. So what we're going to do, okay, so this is what we're going to do. So it is already in the orange side. It needs to go here. So we're going to move that away. Okay, remember, top right, yellow is still on the top, white is still at the bottom. So we're going to bring this up, because remember, this is where it needs to go. So we're going to bring it back up and bring the white down its place. Okay, but we messed up the white. Okay, so what we're going to do is, the white is going to go back away from where it needs to go. We're going to bring that up, and then we're going to bring it back up, and voila. So now what happened, we got the white back, we got our second layer done too. Okay, we got our second layer done. So we are going to do the yellow cross. Remember, white is in the bottom, we have done our first layer. When we finished the white, we did the first layer. Okay, we did the second layer, and I showed you how. Okay, so now we are on the top, all disarranged. Okay, so we already have a line there. Okay, but it doesn't matter what it has now. Okay, so we're going to do a yellow cross. Okay, in order to do that, okay, you are going to turn this to the right, and we're going to go right up, and we're going to do the top, okay, this way, and you're going to go right down, and then you're going to go the top this way, and then the front also this way. Okay, now if you look, okay, that's algorithm is going to be there with arrows and everything else. You will see it. Okay, so you will see it on paper. You can print it too. So now we have the yellow cross. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the next method. Okay, so the next method is we're going to align this line. You see the yellow, you have the white. We're going to align all the red, we're going to align the green, and we're going to on the face of that color. So we're going to align the lines. Okay, so now in order for you to do that, if you already turn this way, this is aligned, and this is also aligned, and this is also aligned, and this is also aligned in this case. Okay, so we can move on to the next one. But if you didn't, I have the algorithm. Okay, you can follow that just like how I showed you. Okay, so now what we are going to do, okay, so we already have the corresponding center done. Okay, so remember, it was this way, it wasn't aligned, but then the minute I shifted the colors, okay, yellow on the top, white at the bottom, it already kind of aligned in my case. Yours may not be. Okay, so now we are going to go to the corners. Okay, so now what we are trying to achieve in this is, we are trying to get the right piece, not in the order, but the right piece at the right place, the right corner piece, top corner piece at the right place. So if you look, okay, now this is the orange side, there's no orange in this, so it's in the wrong place. If you see here, this has the orange, but it doesn't have the red and the green to the other side. But if you come here, you have the blue, it's in the wrong place too, and this is also in the wrong place. Okay, because none of those colors are matching. So what you're going to do, in order to bring the corresponding corners, okay, you're going to bring the right. Now let's say, for instance, if this was in the wrong order, but it had blue and red and yellow, so that would be a right corner. Okay, but in this case, no. Okay, so what we're going to do is, we're going to look for the next one, next one, next one. It's not in the right corner. So you can hold it any way you want. Okay, but if you had one that's in the correct corner, but in the wrong order, you would hold that on the right-hand side to the front of you. Okay, so now we're going to follow another algorithm. Okay, follow with me. We're going to do the top this way. We're going to do the right up. Okay, we're going to top backwards. Okay, we're going to do the left up. Okay, we're going to do the top this way, the right to the bottom. Okay, and then the top this way, and you have the white, which is obvious. You're going to bring it down. Okay, so now you're going to look if any one of them is in the correct place. Okay, so let's look. Okay, still nothing is in the, okay, yes, we just got one. Okay, so now this one is red, green, red, blue, and yellow. So the red has to go here, the yellow has to go on the top, and the blue is on the side, right? So we're going to hold this one on the right hand side, okay, facing you, yellow on the top. Okay, so we're going to do the same algorithm once again. Okay, so we're going to go this way, we're going to go right up, we're going to go top this way, and we're going to go left up. Okay, and then we're going to go top this way, we're going to go right down, okay, and then the top this way, and then the left down. We're going to look again now. So we got this one corrected too. Remember, it's yellow, blue, and red, and that belongs to that corner, but in the wrong order. If you go back now, if you go back to the cube, this got corrected, that got corrected too. So now all what you have is you have this one and this one to put it in the right place. So now we have another algorithm which we are going to go. Okay, we are at the final step now. Okay, so we got everything corrected except for these two that needs to come in the right sides. Okay, the blue needs to be here, red needs to be there, and the yellow needs to be on the top in this case. And this one, the blue needs to be here, yellow needs to be there, orange needs to be here. So what you're going to do is, now you're going to bring the uncorrected, remember, this is not corrected, so you're going to correct this one. So you're going to hold it top to your right and to your front. Okay, now this is another algorithm which is 4. It is also, you can print that, okay, from the description, and also I'm going to put it on the video also. Okay, so here you're going to go down. Okay, you're going to go the bottom this way, you're going to go right up, and you're going to go bottom this way. Okay, it is still not corrected, so you're going to do that once again. You're going to go bottom, you're going to go this way at the bottom, you're going to go that way, and then you're going to turn the bottom back. Okay, and you're going to look, it is still not corrected. Okay, so you're going to go down, bottom to the left, and right to the top, and the bottom to the right. Okay, so if you look, it is still not corrected. So you're going to go once more. You're going to go right down, bottom this way, right up, and then bottom this way. Now if you look, it is corrected. You see that? It's corrected. So now what you're going to do, it's the last step. We're going to correct this, but in order to correct this, remember, we're going to hold the cube exactly like we held, and we're going to bring this one, the wrong one, to our right, front, and top. So we're going to go follow the same step, which is the correcting the corners. Okay, so we're going to go down, bottom this way, right up, and then the bottom that way. Okay, it's not corrected. We're going to do that once again. Right to the bottom to the left, right to the top, okay, and bottom. Okay, it got corrected, so you don't need to make any more moves to correct that. But now if you look at the cube, look, there's a pattern here. Okay, all what you need to do is, shift the cube to the right sides. Look, we do that, green. Okay, and there's a green there. We're going to bring that back, and the cube is corrected. Okay.